Alright friend, before we swallow one more capsule, because it's convenient, let's pop the hood. On the trip I'm currently on, I was concerned about traveling without creatine powder because I'm doing a creatine experiment on myself. So I grabbed some creatine capsules and my inner root cause doc started yelling, "What exactly is this capsule shell? Animal, plant, safe, carnivore friendly? And are we quietly dosing ourselves with extra P?" No, not that P that actually leaves our body, but the P that represents pollutants from my rope framework. Let's answer all of that in a clear, no drama, evidence-based way you can share with your friends and family. Here's the quick promise. By the end of this video, you'll know what capsules are made of, the history that brought us here, where safety gets sketchy, and how a carnivore-leaning human can choose the least inflammatory, least pollutant-y option without losing your mind or your gains. Let's rewind the tape. The idea of putting medicine inside a little container goes way back. But the modern capsule, the two-piece hard shell you twist open, arrived in the mid-1800s. You'll see two names in the history books. London inventor James Murdoch, who patented a two-piece telescoping gelatin capsule in 1847. Around that same era, a French patent by J.C. Lehoby described a similar concept. Either way, that's when the snowball started rolling. A few decades later, giant automated lines were mass-producing hard gelatin capsules. And in 1933, Robert P. Shearer invented the rotary dye process that gave us soft gels. So what's inside the shell today? Three big families. Number one, gelatin, hard or soft. Gelatin is purified collagen from animal skin bone, most commonly bovine or porcine. Fish gelatin exists too. Soft gels add plasticizers like glycerin or sorbitol to make the shell flexible. Hard caps are mostly gelatin and water. For my carnivore folks, yes, this is animal-derived protein, basically collagen cousins, which many of you already take as collagen. Number two, hypromellose, abbreviated HPMC. This is plant-derived cellulose, wood pulp origin, modified to form a stable vegan shell. It's non-nutritive fiber, not sugar, and generally recognized as safe or GRAS. It shines for moisture-sensitive fields and for folks avoiding animal products. Number three, pullulan, a fermentation-derived polysaccharide from tapioca, cassava, that makes a clear oxygen-blocking shell. Great for sensitive activities like probiotics or oils, but also non-animal. Okay, doc, but is any of this carnivore friendly? If you're strict, gelatin wins. Animal in, animal out. If you're carnivore-ish and pragmatic, remember dose matters. An empty size 00 shell weighs 120 to 140 milligrams. If you take, say, 6 capsules, you're still under a gram of shell material in the whole day. In terms of calories, that's trivial and metabolically quiet. If avoiding plant matter is part of your healing season, choose gelatin. If you're avoiding pork, many brands specify bovine or fish and carry kosher options. If you're vegan or just prefer plant shells, HPCT or pullulan is fine and won't spike insulin. Are they safe? Broadly speaking, yes, when made by reputable manufacturers. Pharmaceutical standards require capsules to disintegrate and release their contents on time. USP 701 and 2040 for dietary supplements. That's boring lab work, but it matters. If a capsule cross-links or stays intact too long, you don't absorb the good stuff. Fun nuance. HPMC shells can dissolve a bit differently than gelatin, especially in very low acid conditions. Think enchlorhydria, which can slow release for some fields. Most people won't notice, but it's one reason capsule choice can matter for tricky actives. What about pollutants? The P in rope. Great question. Capsule shells can include colorants and opacifiers. The hot potato is titanium dioxide, the white opacifier historically used to make capsules opaque and photostable. The EU banned titanium oxide as a food additive in 2022 on genotoxicity concerns. And as of 2024 through 2025, regulators there have been working through what they do in medicines. Outside the EU, including the US, titanium dioxide remains permitted in drugs and many supplements, though a number of brands have voluntarily gone titanium dioxide free. If you want to minimize unknowns, choose titanium dioxide-free, dye-free shells. Another pollutant class lives more on the coating side than the capsule shell. Enteric coatings used to bypass the stomach sometimes use phthalate-containing polymers or plasticizers. For example, cellulose acetate, phthalate, PVAP, and plasticizers like DEP and DPP. For many patients, exposure is tiny and the benefits, like drugs getting where it needs to go, is worth it. But it's reasonable to prefer phthalate-free technologies when available, especially for chronic daily use. Even FDA has recommended limiting certain phthalates as excipients. Bottom line, plain hard capsules made of gelatin, HPMC, pullulan typically don't use phthalate coatings. Enteric-coated or delay-release dosages forms are where you read labels closely. What about the old mad cow worry in gelatin? Modern bovine sources are tightly controlled. FDA and international agencies have long restricted specific risk materials and hides and skins. Only gelatin under validated processes is considered BSE safe. Stick with established capsule makers or USP verified products and you dramatically reduce risk. Now let's talk practically and put it in clinic language. If you're strict carnivore or don't prefer animal-based, take bovine or fish gelatin capsules. If you're taking many per day, consider soft gels, also gelatin, or go back to powders to reduce total excipient load, which is what I plan to do with my creatine when I return from my Disney cruise. If you didn't notice from the background that I was on a cruise with my family. If you're vegetarian, vegan, or avoiding animal sources, HPMC or pullulan shells are fine. They're basically inert fiber, fermentation polysaccharide in tiny amounts. If you're trying to lower your P4 pollutants, choose dye-free and titanium dioxide-free shells. Avoid unnecessary enteric-coated forms unless your medications truly need them. And for long-term meds, ask your pharmacist about phthalate-free alternatives. My wife's a pharmacist, so sorry honey for the extra questions you'll be fielding after this video. If you're insulin resistant, most people with hypertension are. Don't fear cellulose or pullulan shells. The grams are minuscule and non-glycemic. The bigger lever is the powder inside the capsule. Caffeine, sweeteners, fillers, etc., not the shell. Creatine itself remains best studied as plain monophosphate powder. Simple, cheap, effective. If you're sensitive to dyes, many companies offer clear or naturally colored shells. Just read the other ingredients line. If you're a clinician advising patients, teach them to scan 3 words first: gelatin, hypromellose or HPMC, or pullulan. Then scan for things like titanium dioxide or lake dyes, and many phthalate words like CAP, PVAP, HPMCP, uncoated products. Simple habit, huge reduction in mystery exposure. Where does this all land for our rope framework? Under P pollutants, the goal isn't to fear capsules. It's to eliminate avoidable exposures while keeping the therapeutic gain. If a capsule helps you take a life-changing medicine or supplement consistently, that's a win. But if you're swallowing 12 capsules of mystery mix every morning, consider consolidating, swapping to powders, or choosing cleaner shells. As always, remove the root cause first: ultra-processed food, sugar, seed oils, sleep debt, and stress load, before leaning on the antidotes found in capsules. Now, are capsules carnivore friendly? Gelatin, yes. HPMC, pullulan, technically non-animal. Metabolically neutral, and tiny in dose. Your call based on philosophy and season of healing. Are capsules safe? In 2025, with reputable manufacturers and a tiny bit of label literacy, yes. The bigger battlefield for metabolic health is still what's on the plate: how you sleep, how you move, and how you manage stress. Not whether your creatine rolled in a tiny protein coat or a plant fiber coat. That's why I'm not tripping about my creatine capsules on my cruise. So here's your call to action. Check the supplement you took this morning. What's the shell? Any titanium dioxide? Any unnecessary dyes? If you find a cleaner option, swap it. Small hinges swing big doors, especially when repeated daily. I'll see you in the next video.